Hello everyone, this is Eden Defenders. It is a bullet heaven style game, or if you want a game to compare it to, Vampire Survivors. Before we get into the video, I'm going to show off some clips about what each character is capable of. We'll start off with the Predator here, who is the weapon person, and also they can activate a lot of trigger abilities based on those weapons. So this is a build where I forewent my weaponry. Like if we look at my weapons, I just have a single level 1 gravitational. And I'm focusing on having triggers because in my research I have plus trigger chance. So this is purely a build about triggers, and that's what's happening on screen right now is all these triggers are going off. So you can completely play the game in a different manner than what the character quote unquote intends to be played as. Like this is the weapon character. Like they are all about having multiple weapons and having them leveled and shooting a lot of bullets really quickly. If we see my weapon right now, I'm shooting multiple bullets, so I believe that gives me more chance to get triggers, and that's why I'm getting so many triggers right now. This character here is the Berserker. He is all about using dashes, and he even has meta upgrades that are about his dashes as well. This character is the Ballistic mech. It's all about using storms, and its weapon pierces through all the targets, so you can do a weapon-based build or a storm-based build off of him. This character here is Bushido. It's all about hitting really fast with your weapon and about applying status effects. We're gonna go ahead and jump in here. There's a few things to go over, like progress and upgrades and something on the play screen. I'm going to skip that for the duration of the run so you can just see the gameplay as it happens. And you only start with this character unlocked, so that's what I'll go ahead and play. So just a brief overview of the progress. You have a whole bunch of different things in here that you can progress with to unlock different things. And in the upgrades menu, as you play the game, you unlock thorium, which will give you these upgrades down here, and then special objectives in that progress menu, which will unlock these up here. All right, so that's just a brief overview of that. We're gonna go ahead and jump in. You will not have access to this menu right here. I will go over it after the run. So I will explain the game as I go along. I will slow down on a few things just so you get used to it. You have a dash on space. It dashes in the direction you move. Your character auto targets the things coming at you. Whatever's closest will get auto targeted. And sometimes your mouse disappears. This is an early access game, so it does have that kind of bug. As you can see now, my mouse is back. And you can also manually target by clicking in the direction you want to go. Now, there is this scan line effect on screen right now, and if you don't like that, you can actually just go ahead and turn that off. I prefer it like this, but I wanted to keep it on there so you can see the stylized graphical option of that. Alright, so this is the level up screen, and we have our choice of level ups. You can destroy them or re-roll them. You don't have these to start with. So let's say I don't want to ever see this construct bot again. I can mouse over it, hit the destroy, and it goes away. And then if we don't like these options, we can go ahead and just re-roll them. We'll go ahead and just pick up the proximity mine here for now. And you can see the damage value appears on screen, and you can dash through. You do have iframes. You can see I just dashed through that projectile and took no damage. So I just wanted to show off the fact that yes, you can dodge through things. So you'll see these words appear: research, storm, and trigger. And I swear this will be like kind of the last bit of explanation I do. It should be just gameplay from here on out. You have weapon slots. You have a dash slot, which we already have. So we will never see a dash skill appear again. We have a storm slot. We have trigger slots, construct. I have an extra research slot and generator slots. Generator abilities are every 5 levels or 4, depending on your upgrades on the meta screen. And if you need an explanation of what any of this stuff is, you can hit F and it explains what it is to you. So let's just go ahead and grab Frozen Orb here. I'm not really going for any kind of special build or anything like that. I'm just picking stuff. Now there is something I need to explain as well. So we have these bars here. These two are your dash bars. When you dash, one of these gets consumed. The red's your health bar. The white is your barrier. And the one on the bottom that's like an orange to red to yellow is your energy bar. Every time you attack, it uses energy. When your shield recovers, it uses energy. When your abilities when you dash and it recharges it uses energy. Storm energy triggers energy. It all uses energy. So let's go ahead and just grab, let's see, let's just destroy this construct here. And we don't have anything that freezes except for our trigger skill, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and just grab the research. So now you can see one of our research slots is taken. Yeah, so pretty much everything you do... Ooh, okay, we can freeze enemies with less. Let's go ahead and grab that, more research. And here's the generator, every 5 levels I was talking about. Mine's every 4. We'll just get more energy for now. So on the map, you see these icons here. These are special little doodads. You can get extra experience, or you can get reroll tokens or destroy tokens out of them, or magnets, or health. A whole bunch of stuff you can get out of them. So this one, for example, gave us a level up, and your dash can push bigger enemies. That's why I just got chunked there. Buildings you can't pass through. You do have to destroy them. And then this is an antenna, or you can call them towers. They're called antennas in the game, though. You have to stand in this circle while it builds up, and then once it's fully built, it will deal 500 to everything inside of it, and you get a special upgrade here. So we can get extra attack speed. Attack speed's great on this character. It's great on every character. Now, on this mini-map as well, there are different things that appear. Let's go ahead and... let's just pick a weapon for now, because we'll just do more damage. There we go. This is a reroll token we just picked up. And normally speaking, there is an icon that'll be purple and it'll point you to it. That is called a hive. Now, I've already beaten the hive on this difficulty before, so it does not appear again. So then it just acts like a regular game. I will go ahead and show a clip of the hive on screen right now from a different run, so you can see what I'm talking about. Movement speed sounds pretty good to me. Okay, we can get another weapon here. We can get virus. I would like a cold-based weapon due to our absolute 0 that we have going on. So one of the things you can do is you can destroy stuff that you don't really care about. Like, let's say you get a research that you only wanted 1 tier of. You can destroy that so you'll never see the upgrades of that research again, which is pretty good. There we go. So, like, let's say we don't want this weapon to appear anymore. We can just go ahead and get rid of it, just like that. How many storms do I have? I don't have any storms. We'll take a chemical bomb just so people see what it looks like. I don't really have a cohesive build right now, but that's fine. We'll reduce the cost of trigger types, because as you get more and more attack speed, you will get triggers a lot faster, and that can be very energy intensive. So here's a destroy token over here that appeared. You can go ahead and pick that up. There it is on screen. More frozen orb sounds okay. And there's a free level up token. Okay, we can grab, let's see, another trigger here. Yeah, let's grab this trigger so you can see what it looks like. It's focus laser. And you'll see my energy start to dip really hard now since I have 2 trigger skills. These little guys are exploding enemies. If they get next to you and die, they will explode. and they're pretty quick to go off. It does seem like the hitboxes are pretty darn good as well. And then you have these giant egg clusters like this one over here. It has a ton of buildings surrounding it. So unless you have a lot of DPS, you don't really want to jump in there. And here's the arena that happens. As you can see, it's moving. And that does trap you in here while lots of dudes are coming in. All right, we got some movement speed research. We have only 2 of 6. Let's go ahead and grab another speed then. We can reduce the cost for our basic attacks, which is pretty decent. Let's go ahead and do that. Lots of little explodey guys. I hate them. Now here's a nice thing about these explodey guys. They only appear for a certain duration. So this game does recognize the fact that some enemy types are unfun to fight, like those ones that explode when they die. So they are nice enough. Burn. We do have burn. We don't have a construct yet. Let's just go ahead and grab one of those constructs. So now we won't see any constructs appear. I'm out of shielding. What was I saying? Oh yeah, they recognize the fact that some enemies are unfun to fight, so those enemies, like these exploders, will only appear for a set duration, and you don't have to worry about it after that point. So like after the 5-minute mark here, we shouldn't see really any more of these explodey guys, except the ones that have already spawned. Or maybe it's like 5:30 or something. It's set on a certain time frame. Oh, here we go, freezing. That's the one I wanted. Yeah, this should be the last one. There we go. A little bit more movement speed. There we go. We destroyed the big egg sack, and you can see we got some stuff on screen to grab right there. Perfect. Alright, let's go out and grab some more of these egg sacks, because they can have goodies in them. Now, if you're wondering how long this goes on for, it is 20 minutes. Typically. Oops, I got clipped by that. Now these big guys can sometimes have specialty stuff that drops. Maybe a bit more move speed. Maybe this will get a little bit more weapon damage. A little bit cheaper shield regeneration, or just more regeneration is pretty decent. The dangerous thing about freezing enemies is, as you can see, that guy was frozen in his charge. Yeah, you can freeze them while they're charging. It's real spooky. We have another research slot we can grab, so we can grab this one right here. More experience is always pretty darn good. Health regen. Yeah, I'll take it. I get hit a lot. I'm not very good at these types of games. All this tasty experience. I see an antenna down here, so we'll go to that. There we go. Attack speed or movement speed? Let's grab attack speed. So the more attack speed you have, the more triggers you do, and there's bosses. Oh, he hit me with that one. I think more shielding would be pretty good. This will be our last one if we get it. And down goes the boss. Alright, we can get a bit more freezing, do more damage. And less energy expenditure is pretty good too. More experience. Now, as far as I'm aware, you can go to spots you've been to already. The game seems to have some sort of chunk-based system where if I've already been in this area and I come back to it later, there could be new items there. I'm not 100% on that, but that's how it feels. Okay, we got another egg cluster down here. Let's go ahead and go to that. Destroy some of these buildings while we're at it. Do I not have a dash? No, I do. I have proximity mine. Some bit more health regen. I don't really need the health regen right now, but let's go ahead and take it. Now, we should be safe to circle this egg sack now. Dash into here, dash into here. Ooh, more frozen orb. Trigger chance up to 19%. A lot of explodey stuff. Let's get a bit more focused laser as well. And then storm. No, we want trigger cost reduction. Because I can see our energy is doing very poorly. Let's see. We can get more frozen orb or more weapon damage. Let's get more frozen orb for now. Another projectile off of it. It sounds pretty good to me. More shielding. Okay, that had a magnet item in it, and that pulls all the experience on the map, I believe. I'm not 100% on that. To you. More overall energy or basic or tab? Let's get more overall energy, because then the more energy regeneration we get, the better that is. I really like the trigger thing. So I'm going to get rid of the Scyther construct. I'm going to destroy it. So we'll never see it again. And the same thing with the chemical bomb here. I'm just going to go ahead and destroy it. So we will never see it again. So we're getting all this experience. So this is going to spam for a little bit here since we have so much experience sitting on the map. Yeah, see how we can just focus on this laser now? And let's grab the experience gain. And then generate energy when we dash, sure, yeah. Alright, we finally ran out of experience on the map, but we got a whole ton out of that. Alright, well, let's get a bit more proximity mine as well. I am clicking through these kind of fast. I will go ahead and hold on the screen so you can pause to read it. Let's get more area size. Okay, I took a lot of damage there. There we go, an egg cluster. Jeez. A lot of these guys that fire 3 projectiles at once. I don't like them. Now there's a reason I'm rushing this to 10. It's because I want to show you what a mastery is. Okay, we broke the egg, we got some destroy tokens and a reroll token out of it. Not exactly what I wanted. We are locked in here. Let's grab some more frozen orb as well. More shield. Sounds pretty good. And then more max trigger reductions. Probably the strongest we'll get there. More experience gain. Let's get more freezing weapon. Okay, we're free from that. I picked up a magnet upgrade. Let's just grab more shield. And we'll head over to the right. Bit more movement speed. More max energy. Let's just get more of our weapon. Because I do have a mastery for the weapon as well if I get it to level 10, so we'll just go ahead and grab that. Oh, there's another magnet. It's not going to do us much good, though. More speed. Kind of is moving aimlessly around the map right now. We are about to encounter another boss soon. You get bosses at like, I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes, 14, and then 20. Let's keep heading to the right, just so we can get some more like antenna or giant egg clusters. I'm just gonna kind of follow everything I see on the map that's red. We got more explodey guys. Okay, we have more exploding guys, so I gotta pay attention because these always end my runs. They should end at like the 14-minute mark though. Like here's a really big exploding guy. These have pretty large radiuses and they go off really quickly. They are usually what ends my run. That's why I keep picking up movement speed so much. I can get out of the radius of them without using a dash. There's a reroll token right here, but I'm going to ignore it. I already have so many. Okay, here's a boss. And I'm in an arena. Ugh. But this boss is fast. He attacks very quickly. So every time this boss attacks, you have to dodge unless you just have insane movement speed. Yeah, see how he still hit me even though it looked like I was just about to get out of the range? It's a very fast attack. Let's grab the focus laser again, and then let's grab more energy regen, because we have a lot of energy. And as you can see, based on the timer, there's no more of the explodey guys. Okay, that time I was able to escape because I am pretty quick. Oh, he got me that time. There we go, boss down. We got a destroy token, an upgrade token, and a reroll token. So I think this is like one of the last, I don't know what movement speed goes to. There are some that only go to like level 5, the others go to level 10. Let's get some max energy. And you see sometimes when the antenna pops up, my mouse goes away. That's one of the bugs I was referring to. These guys are castable ones. So if you get in the radius of them, they start casting their ability. Let's see if I can get one here that doesn't get frozen. Okay, they're all getting frozen. I can't show it off. Well, okay, if you get the castable ones and you kill them before their cast finishes, it doesn't end the cast. The other ones, the ones that explode, that does not happen for. So, kind of like Vampire Survivors, once you get to a certain... My mouse disappeared. Once you get to a certain level, you can kind of just stand still. I'm not quite at that point. They do get through a little bit, but we're almost there. So there's some things I want to try to get into. Let's see if we can't get the... Yeah, there we go. The level 10 of this, so then you can see the master of it. I want to try to show that off if I can before I get got. Because I am playing on a slightly higher difficulty. I wanted to play this game a fair bit before I showed off anything of it. Let's go ahead and see if we can't reroll for that master. Here we go. Here's a mastery. You get this through the progress system, which I will show afterwards, or maybe I'll put it up on screen when I first talk about mastery. But transforms the geometry of the focus lasers into zigzagging shapes. So if we click on this, and then let's go ahead and grab more energy regeneration. Let's just go ahead and stand here, and you can see how it's now changed. The 17, my mouse disappeared again. The 17-minute mark is appearing. The big explodey guys will appear again, and those usually end my run. Having a ton of DPS can actually be bad. Now, here's something as well. Why does my mouse keep disappearing? Here's something that can happen as well. If you want to recharge your energy faster, you can turn off your weapons with control. I don't really see a point in doing that too much unless you're like really struggling with shield generation. But hey, it's an option. Just be aware of that. Let's get more shielding. Okay, they're starting to break my shield now because they got the ranged guys, and I run into... And here's the explodey guys again. Oh lord, I gotta pay attention to the ground. Oh, I gotta pay attention to the ground. Come on, George, don't die now. You gotta make it the 20-minute mark to show it off. Don't die, don't die, don't die. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. They'll stop soon, George. Yes, I refer to myself in the third person when I play games. More max energy, yeah. Okay, we're out of the arena at least. Okay, it seems like we're free of the big explodey guys now. Thank goodness. Those always end my run. And let's get more frozen orb. There's an antenna over here I'm going to go for. If you get out of the antenna, it does reset. This doesn't really help. Let's just get more crit chance, because crit is good. We got a free level up here. Let's go ahead and grab that. There we go. More weapon damage. I don't have the mastery skill of the frozen orb. That's why I'm not really rushing it to 10, because there's no point. Energy cells off the enemy sounds pretty good. We got a free level up over here. Let's go and grab that. I went past it. Let's go ahead and grab more damage against stuff affected by chill or frozen. Another generator upgrade here. Trigger cost reduction sounds pretty good. We got another level up as well. We can get more fragile and then more trigger type reduction. More fragile. Attack speed, because we can get more triggers from more attack speed. And who doesn't like more attack speed? Got level up. More frozen orb. More frozen orb. Okay, frozen orb should not appear anymore. Alright, we're almost at the point where you're fighting a boss. We're just gonna sit here and let the boss come to us. And here's the final boss. Oh god, dodged all the stuff. I can't even see it. Okay, dash through that. Oh jeez, I took massive damage. Holy cow. I might be dead here. Oh jeez. Now's not the time. Okay, we pulled it back. We pulled it back. Ooh, I was almost dead. There we go. That's that difficulty done. We are on a, I don't know, it's called oppression 5. It goes like oppression 5, 10, 15, 20. And then you can see how many enemies you defeated, how many times you've completed a full run. Don't judge me. And then you can see what your damage did. So we can see that our focus laser is 163, our basic attack is 128, and our frozen orb is 113. So if we look at our rewards now, we can see that we completed a raid on at least 5 difficulty with Leia, and we get +1 iridium. It's crossed out so you know you've gotten it. Okay, let's go ahead and look a bit closer at the progress system and the upgrade system now. So we'll go ahead and do progress right now. So you have these skills right here. So for example, we were just using the, let me just skip to the point where I find it. We're using the frozen orb, and we did quite a bit of damage that run. We did 123,000, I believe. So we need 200,000 to unlock the master level of the skill. Then when you get the skill to level 10, you can then get the master level version of it. And as you can see from the focus laser, it's quite powerful of an upgrade. And this is for all of the skills in the game that are damage dealing, as far as I'm aware. And then with Leia specifically, when you do your first raid, you get 500 thorium. We'll cover a bit more about what thorium and iridium are on the next screen, or the next section. It'll be timestamped if you want to skip to that. And then if we deal 500,000 damage with her weaponry, we get the master level of skill, which we did not see. You have to have a level 10 weapon, and it just means both weapons fire at the same time. So you essentially double your DPS. And then we have, if you complete a raid on at least 0 difficulty, you get 1 iridium. 5 difficulty, which we just did, you get 1 iridium. And these iridium ones are how you do the top bar of your upgrades. If you destroy the hive, you get 1 iridium. If you destroy the hive again, so I can show off the hive hopefully in this next one, and then a whole bunch of ways to get iridium. So to get the other characters, you just have to play 20 minutes. You don't have to do 20 minutes in a single run. It's just a combined 20 minutes. This one's a combined 40 minutes. He's pretty fun. I like him. and this one is a combined 60 minutes. Let's go ahead and take a look at the upgrade system here. So down here, we just you can reset these. There is no harm in resetting them. You get all your points back. So feel free to do it as much as you want. And then we can unlock, say we can get this reroll code here, right? Well, let's say we want to get this destroy code. As you can see right next to where my mouse is, you have to, it's unlocked by spending 10,000 of your thorium. It doesn't matter what part it's in. Like, let's say we want to max out our improved reactor. We can now grab this because we just have a single point in here. So we can get destroy codes right away if we don't want to see any of that earlier skills that we just don't want. Like, let's say we're going for a burn build. We can get rid of anything that's like void or corrosive. Just, this is not burn. And there's a whole bunch of cool things in here. All right, and before I mouse over these so you can see what they all do, I'll go ahead and talk about the iridium system first, and then I will go through and bit by bit just mouse over these so you can feel free to stop, pause the video, and read them. But for now, these are like your defining traits, I would say. For example, you can get more weapon attack speed, and then you can increase the number of projectiles, and then you get more weapon attack speed, more projectiles, even another weapon skill slot. Or you can go the route of you focus on constructs, and you can get extra construct slot, construct cost, and you can even start the game with 2 different constructs. And this one's like a trigger chance. You get more trigger chance, chance it won't consume any energy. Whole bunch of cool stuff that you can do in these sections, and these kind of define how you play. I will go ahead and mouse over these quickly. You can pause the video to read them if you like, but I will just go ahead and just mouse over these so you can see what they do. Like, let's look at this guy over here. He's a slower lumbering guy, but he's very strong. Like, you can get a ton of construct stuff. You can get a bunch of storm style skills off of him, and you can get like extra generator upgrades, extra research, or you can get a bunch of extra energy boosts. And then he has stuff down here for like you slow yourself, but you get more energy reasons. So there's plenty of ways you can customize what you're doing. I do feel like this game has a fair bit of replayability value based on these skill trees here. Once you've completed your first raid where you kill the queen, you then unlock the difficulty increase mode. At first it starts at a 0, 5, then 0, 10, 0, 15, 0, 20. And this is how it works. So if you want to increase the enemy health, you can add 1 point into it and you get 1, and it goes up percentage wise as well. Sometimes there are ones that are worth more points initially, like increase the number of enemy projectiles. It only has 1 available for it, but it's usually a pretty big bump and a high difficulty. And you can't add over the cap, so I can't add this 2 here, like the projectile speed. I can only do the 1 point to go up. So it's kind of a nice system. You got to decide how you want to, die. So you could have just boss damage, number of boss projectiles, increase boss speed. Destroy an egg gives you more enemies. You can even reduce the amount of events you get, so you just fight enemies. So there's a bunch of ways you can increase your difficulty here, but that's the kind of the difficulty increase of the game right there. So it's a pretty nice system. All right, while I talk about what I like or dislike about the game, I'll go ahead and let some footage from my runs play in the background. And if there's something specific that I need to talk about, I'll show an example of it on screen. One of the things I really like about this game is you feel strong as you progress through the just regular in-game upgrades, not even talking about the meta progression. The in-game upgrades make you feel powerful. As you get more and more, say, solar storm, you will begin to get a bigger and bigger circle area, and it'll affect everything around you. So unlike a lot of the other games where you kind of feel like you don't have any sort of cohesive build, in this one you very much can focus on just fire or frost or antimatter, whatever pops up. You can focus on those pretty heavily. With the destroy tokens, which I haven't really seen before, I don't play a ton of bullet heaven games, but this is the first one I've played that had it in it. You're able to hyper focus your build on what you want to do at that given time. If you just like playing with antimatter builds, you can push for just antimatter builds with enough destroy tokens. And with the upgrade system allowing you to get reroll tokens and destroy tokens right away, it's fairly easy to do so. I've had plenty of runs where I focused on pure frost builds or I focused on pure fire builds with nothing else. So the system they have in place right now for an early access game feels very good to play. You don't feel bad at all for picking an upgrade, typically speaking, as long as you're doing it in the, the right order. If you just go full research and full like support stuff and you don't pick any attacking things and then you can't kill later on, yeah, that feels bad, but that's a skill issue, not a game issue. One of the things I don't like about the game is when you first start the game, your character feels extremely slow without those early kinetic upgrades for increasing your, I think it's called reactor speed. I do wish they would slightly increase your starting movement speed by maybe, I don't know, 10% and take the mob movement up just a tiny smidge, just to make it feel like it's less of a slog. Because like when I first started playing the game, I was like, oh god, this feels really slow. That doesn't feel very good. But as soon as I did the first mission and I got the movement speed upgrades out of the gate, it didn't feel bad at all. Some of the characters like the Ballistic mech are supposed to be slow in the first place, so that one's understandable. But I think base movement speed may be taken up just a hair at the start. I do enjoy how all the mechs feel pretty different from one another. Like when I was playing the Predator, which is the first mech you use, you can do a lot of trigger stuff and a lot of weapon stuff. The weapon attack speed on her with the multi-shot can get pretty insane, especially once you get like the mastery upgrade for it. And with the whole trigger system being based on your weapon attacks, she can feel pretty insane. But the problem with that, though, is if you have a ton of triggers and they take up a lot of real estate on your screen, and the clip in the background right when I'm saying this should show a big problem with that. I can't see what's happening on my screen. The boss is putting down ground target effects. I cannot see these ground target effects, and I end up losing the run because of it. I need to be able to see what to dodge, just because you can't dodge stuff you can't see, right? Unless you're just spamming your dash skill, and that does not feel good from a player perspective, and it doesn't feel good from a game design perspective to punish your player for getting skills to the max level, because then that would incentivize you to not take the trigger skills so you can just, see the battlefield a little bit better. Like we talked about the Berserker, his big thing, is all that dash stuff, and he has a bunch of upgrades for dashes as well. So you can really feel the direction they want you to make some of these characters go, and you can choose to do the opposite as well. Like if you want to do triggers and storms on these characters, you absolutely can, and you don't really feel like you're punished for doing so. So that feels pretty good as a player, and I just like the way they have the characters designed along with their upgrade system. There is a pretty big bug in the game. If you destroy some of the upgrade options and it changes the container box from 3 to 2, there seems to be an issue with the H box container, which is the horizontal box container, like where you put your screen elements into. And because of that, it's having the selection field act like there's still a third option there. Like it's somewhere hidden in the background. Like I don't know if they did the order of these things incorrectly, because it does seem like it puts the UI element up first and then it decides to remove one afterwards. Like it does 3 by default. You shouldn't do that. You should create the size based on how many are going to be put up in the first place. So you should calculate how many spots you need and then create it based on how many slots you need. They're doing it the other way around, where they create the overall size and then reducing it based on the slots, which I think is where this bug is coming from. And because of that, the only way to fix that, if you get down to 1 slot, you can't click slots 1 or 3 anymore. Like it just makes those disappear. So it only has the middle slot active, but you can't click it because it's still thinking that 1 or 3 is active, right? So the only way to fix that currently is to hit tab, which brings up your skills on the left hand side. Hit tab again, it will automatically, for a few frames, select the skill upgrade for you, and then you can hit enter to select it. That's the only way I found to go around it. I've tried using arrow keys and enter. I've tried using A and D and enter. I've tried using A and D, and like you can re-roll sometimes, but the only way I found 100% to do it is tab enter. So they definitely need to fix that. Other than that, I've had a pretty great time with the game. There is a frame rate issue with a lot of trigger effects being on screen. I went down to 34 frames. I don't have the best computer. I have a what do you call it, NVIDIA GeForce 3800, maybe 3600, something like that. It's not the best, but it's the cheapest I could find. That was, you know, as strong as I wanted it to be. But overall, yeah, highly recommend this game. It's like what, $4 or $5? It's not bad at all. It's pretty darn good. You like bullet heaven games? Go get it. I do have a few suggestions for what I would love to see in the game that would just make it easier on me as a player. Right now, if you want to shoot in certain directions, you have to hold down your left click to fire in that direction. I would much prefer if left click toggled that ability. Like, you left click, it toggles the ability to fire in that direction until you left click to turn it back off. Like, if I'm playing a character where I have to aim in a certain direction, I have to hold my finger down for, you know, 26 minutes or whatever it is, yeah, it kind of makes the finger hurt. And if you're someone who is, let's say you don't work out a lot, you're not going to be able to deal with inflammation very easy, and that's how you develop stuff like RSI. Or if you overwork out, it's always how you get RSI, which basically what, that's tennis elbow right there. So essentially you're overworking your tendons and developing some sort of like tendonitis or RSI or some sort of inflammation that causes that. Right? So please let us toggle it with left click instead of holding down left. Just put that in the options menu. Another thing I would really like to see is, with the issue of you not being able to select some things based on like moving the arrow keys or A and D or selecting them with your mouse, make it so the upgrade options you can select with 1, 2, 3, and maybe have an option in the menu where like single tap will select that skill. So like the left one's 1, middle one's 2, right one's 3. Single tap would select it, and then have an option where it says double tap. So one would highlight the one you're thinking about, so you can re-roll with the keyboard and you don't have to use the mouse if you don't want to. And then you press 1 again to select it then. So either way, where you press 1 and it just selects automatically, or you press 1 to highlight and then 1 again to fully select. That'd be a pretty cool method to have that done. I would also like the ability to right click and have your character move in that direction, like follow your mouse around. Just because sometimes I prefer mouse-based movement, and other times I prefer keyboard-based movement. It really depends on just the day I wake up and what my brain wants to do that day, right? So just those few changes would be pretty nice to the game, especially the first one, we're not having to hold down click, and the second one being able to select your skills with 1, 2, 3. Other than that, I don't really have any other suggestions for the game. Like, from a game design perspective, I don't really have any. It's more of just UI and user friendliness, because I think the game on its own is really fun right now. Maybe they could add some other bosses. I don't know how the second map gets unlocked. Maybe you have to beat Oppression 20 to unlock the second map right now. I do not know. I've only gotten to Oppression 15, and I've been playing the game for, oh, let me find out here. I've been playing the game for roughly 13 hours now. I wanted to get a good chunk of time into the game before I did a review on it. I'm not knocking people who review a game after playing for, you know, 30 minutes. I mean, I used to do that in the past, but I kind of feel like if I want to give a fair review, I need to play the game for at least, you know, 4 to 8 hours, if the game lasts that long. If you're playing a horror game and it only lasts 30 minutes or an hour, yeah, that's completely fine to do your review on at that point. But if it's a game like this, like a bullet heaven game, where you have to put a little bit of effort into it to see what it's like, I feel like you should give it its just due when you're doing the review for it. And when I was doing it, I was playing all sorts of the different characters, so I didn't focus on one to beat Oppression 20. So maybe you do unlock it with Oppression 20. I'm not sure, so I can't comment on it. But no, I enjoyed my time with this game, and for the low price it was, yeah, I recommend. Just fix the bugs in the game, maybe do something about the frame rate issue on the triggers, and yeah,